This has been blowing up so much in the Japanese media. I currently live in Japan, and this news was pretty much everywhere. I think I even saw it on the train news at one point. But I wanted to sit down and talk a little bit about the situation. But before I give my take on this big problem, I'm very curious to hear what other people have to say about this current situation.
At the end of every year, I like to make predictions on what I think will happen in the following year. Simple stuff like who's going to win the Super Bowl, which game's going to win Game of the Year, and will I finally hit Diamond in Valorant. And most of the time, I'm wrong. However, I found in one specific instance, I wasn't actually wrong, I was just early to the party. You see, in late 2021, I predicted that IRL streaming was going to blow up. End of COVID lockdown. People are traveling, filming it, other people are watching it. Turns out that people wanted to live it themselves, though. In fact, not only did IRL streaming fall off, all of live streaming fell off after 2021, where it peaked in April and May. But
Okay, so this is very interesting. Recently, I have been seeing a lot more live streamers do IRL streams in Japan. Sometimes I'm walking around just Shinjuku or Shibuya area and there's always somebody live streaming, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great people want to live stream to their audience and show what kind of stuff they're seeing, but I can see how that would lead into the problem that we're having at this moment, especially in Johnny Somali's case.
2023 has been a huge resurgence for live streaming, and I'm sure you're aware of this if you think to some clips you might have seen over the past 6 or so months. And one of the biggest examples of this is FuzzyTube, who live streamed every second of his life, including traveling around, going to airports, and other clips I'm sure you've seen. He even was IRL streaming while getting arrested from a cop trying to stream through their body cam.
I got a big penis. It could hurt you a lot.
Jesus.
I'm gay. 9 inches. Is that on body cam? I'll fuck you so good till you love me.
Crazy!
I mean, I don't know what to make of this. This is just absurd. And Ludwig probably mentioned this, but I think he said this is from a body cam, so from a cop? Or is it from his own camera? I have no idea, but still, I'm surprised that this footage is even surfaced, but I guess if it's a police body cam, I can see how someone would get a hold of it.
Crazy. And there is a specific term that I like to use for these types of IRL streamers that are having a huge 2023. And it's an anything for view streamer, right? It is a lot different than IRL streaming as it was for a few years before COVID. That sort of IRL streaming behavior of really doing anything kind of died with Ice Poseidon when he got banned off of Twitch. It was basically platforms saying, hey, this is too edgy, this is too crazy, you cannot do anything for views out in public, it causes real harm to those around you, and you need to cut it out. But it's had a big resurgence with Kick.com. There's a lot of people who are...
Yeah, I can completely relate to this. And this goes back to what I mentioned before with the IRL streams, people walking around. And there have been times when I've also entered a restaurant and people are doing live streams and they're extremely loud. I can think of one particular case. I was in an ice cream shop and there were some people that they were doing an IRL stream and they were purposely being loud and obnoxious just to garner attention, and they weren't necessarily talking to other people, they were just talking amongst themselves and their chat, which is completely okay in their own space. But when they're out in public, and especially in Japan where everything is more quiet and you're not really allowed to film inside of a restaurant or any kind of facility without permission, but most of the time the employees or even the manager, they won't come up to you, especially if you're a foreigner, they won't come up to you and tell you that you're not allowed to do this. And actually, not a lot of them have signs outside to also tell people that you're not allowed to film. Some stores do have these signs out, but I would say most of them don't have anything. But it's kind of an unwritten rule.
Using Kick, which has more lax rules to bring back that anything for views mentality and harass people. And there's one person in specific that I want to talk about today, Johnny Somali. You might have seen this clip before of Johnny in this trains of Japan harassing people by saying stuff like this.
You know Hiroshima? You know Hiroshima? Nagasaki? You know. Why you do this? Pearl Harbor?
Basically going up to anybody he can see in Japan and say, hey, why did you do Pearl Harbor? And then bringing up the two sites where atomic bombs were exploded, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And he does this nonstop.
Hiroshima. Nigga, move away, nigga. Nigga, wallahi, we do it again. Wallahi, I swear to God. Wallahi, billahi, wa tallahi.
And that's basically it. That clip blew up, and it gave him a lot of negative attention from people not...
You can see these people are just not having it. Everyone's tired from work, and they just don't want to listen to this stuff. And I could assume a lot of people don't even know what he's saying. I don't even know if the person he was talking to at the beginning even knows what he was saying. But these people, they're finished from work. They want to go home and relax. They don't want to hear the crap that's coming out of this guy's mouth.
Not only in the States, but also in Japan. And what was Johnny's reaction to this?
It's free promo. It's free promo.
He was pumped. Oh, it got so many views. Free promo. This is great for me, which is why I never really talked about it. But finally, justice has been served to Johnny because he got arrested by Japanese police. But to talk about that, first, I must show you the justice that some people in Japan were taking in their own hands. You see, after that clip happened, Johnny kept doing that sort of stuff. He kept walking up in live streams saying, you know, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, trying to get a rile out of those around him. And he stopped doing it because he had a couple instances where it didn't go very well. Here's the first one.
Bread first. Drop the bread first. This ain't safe, man. Shut the fuck up.
Okay,
Hey, all my real
ain't
niggas
safe.
jump in Discord right now. Hop in Discord. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Damn!
Yo, you tripping, nigga.
Perhaps he should have heeded the warning from Jay.
Damn! He got him good. Wait, is this actually real? I can't think if this is staged or if that actually happened. Like someone actually did that to him. That's insane. I can't think of a Japanese person actually doing that. People here are very tolerant of this kind of behavior. That's damn. But that's just crazy. That's crazy.
James lead about that one. It wasn't very safe. It wasn't very safe. He got jumped in Japan and laid out on the streets and all his equipment destroyed. And then it happened again.
Well, I think I saw this
10
one
days ago.
Hey, what?
Just don't grab my camera. All you have to say
Don't
is
grab nothing. Oh.
That
Where he
coin.
got knocked the fuck out by some person that he was harassing in the streets of Japan. Listen to the noise he makes as he swings and not only knocks out the camera, but knocks out Johnny in a clean hit. That's a crazy noise. And ever since then, it seems as though Johnny is less excited about people spreading around his clips. He's somewhat nervous about it getting very popular in Japan and then basically getting hurt or worse. And has been DMCA takedown, giving DMCA takedown notices to almost all the videos and clips about like the train incident or any of the...
I actually didn't know about this. I thought that he wanted the attention, but I guess I can see why he would want these kinds of takedowns because he doesn't want to get the attention and then have all that kind of evidence. Because if you guys know about Japanese law, here it's guilty until proven innocent. So if there's a bunch of evidence floating around the internet, you can bet that the Japanese police are gonna find all that evidence. But he's been arrested, so they have all the evidence they need.
The other incidents where he is harassing people. He's going crazy on the copyright takedowns. It's very hard to now find those clips. And there was a weird justice that was trying to be found by live streamers, YouTubers, vigilantes, and even Yakuza members in Japan. Basically, 3 different people all tried to confront Johnny to try to get him to apologize. And from Johnny's POV, again, it's anything for views. So if a Japanese YouTuber or live streamer is going to go up and say, hey, say Gomenasai into the camera and mean it, he will say it if he can get away with it and then go back to doing the same shit the next day. Look, here's his apology with a vigilante YouTuber guts. Where he's supposed to repeat everything he says. It's embarrassing.
He's saying mewaku. Like, mewaku is pretty much kind of being a disturbance. I think so. My Japanese is still kind of meh. But this is pretty interesting. I didn't know this happened, but I'm glad it did. I mean, it didn't really have any effect, but I'm still glad that they were able to get a hold of him and make him apologize for everything that he's done.
This is not an apology. This is a fucking clown show right here. And yeah, there's even the former Yakuza member who unsuccessfully ran for political office, who tried to get him to bow and apologize for his mistakes.
This is for CX. This is for Paul Dinino, Ice Poseidon in Japan.
But listen to him. This is for Paul Dinino in Japan. Like, he's making a mockery of it. I don't know why anyone's even attempting to get him to pay his respects or make apologies for it. Because what did he do directly after all of those apologies? He went to Tokyo Disneyland, where you're not allowed to IRL stream, with a little microphone or a little speaker that anybody could play any sound off of. And of course, what are the people who are watching him going to play?
Atomic bomb.
Yeah. Atomic bomb. He doesn't give a shit, bro. He doesn't care. It is anything for views. And I normally wouldn't talk about this because I don't want to give more attention to him. However, it all ends today because Johnny has been arrested by Japanese police. Here he is getting confronted. This happened just today, like 12 hours ago. I think they're reading out what happened, calling him a suspect, showing him some of the evidence, and then they arrest him. They turn off his equipment, and as he walks away, he yells like "free."
Yeah, I saw this clip already, and they were pretty much just telling him his charges and all that kind of stuff. But the thing that really bothered me about this clip is just how much of a clown he was being. It reminds me of the clip that Ludwig played at the beginning, where he's just kind of being an ass on camera. And that's exactly what Johnny is doing in this particular situation. But, you know, the thing when it comes to Japanese police is they're some of the nicest people. I've actually had encounters with Japanese police before while living in Japan. And no, it's not because I committed some sort of crime. It's because they actually stop foreigners from time to time because they want to make sure you're legally here. So sometimes they will stop foreigners just unexpectedly. You're walking around your day and they'll just stop, whether it be on a bike or in a car. In my case, they stopped me while they were driving somewhere. They just turned on their siren and I was just walking to work, and then they were asking me for my visa and all this other kind of stuff. But of course, they were so polite, very patient. And I know at some point, one of the police here got really irritated with him because I think he was playing with his phone or something, like the camera. And it takes a lot to make a Japanese police officer this angry.
Johnny or something. And there it is. He is now detained by Japanese police. And if you don't know how it works when you're detained by Japanese police, it isn't good. They can detain you for up to 30 days without even charging you. Mm-hmm. They just keep you in there. And oftentimes that is their deterrent for crime, even if they don't have an ability to charge, is just to throw you in their jails for a while and then deport you and never allow you to re-enter the country, which would definitely be a good thing for the people of Japan for what he is doing. What was the final thing that the police arrested him for? Was it for walking around and harassing people? No, I don't know if that's technically a crime, but it was actually for this clip right here.
What's up?
Crossed into a construction zone, which is super illegal because it can be incredibly dangerous to those who are working there.
I mean, who does this?
He's going
anywhere
in
the world. Like, if you cross
the commentary
site, it's
right
illegal. And
I'm just
I don't
know what the fuck is going on right
of course, we all know why he did
sorry.
this. He wanted the attention.
Warehouse,
It's just
He's going to the warehouse.
Oh my God,
You're also
Dad,
going in
what
with him, by the way.
Did I get myself into?
A mistake. You got yourself into a big mistake.
Oh, he's mad.
see,
mad, bro.
he doesn't want to deal with it.
And that's the clip. That's the clip. That's him.
Hey, Fukushima.
And then he yells Fukushima, which obviously a huge disaster happened in Japan like about a decade ago. But he won't be able to do that anymore. He won't be able to harass the people of Japan. Normally, it laid on the shoulders of platforms like Twitch or YouTube to ban these people and basically deplatform them so that they cannot just be nuisances to society. But in this case, because you are able to go a lot further on Kick.com, it was up to the country of Japan, and they've finally done it. And this has gone mega viral in Japan. It's like a huge news story you can see here. This is an official Japanese news site, 5.7 million views, and it says the masked intruder at a construction site has been arrested. There's also an article about it. They're trying to find the cameraman as well. And I was able to understand most of this, by the way, because of this Twitter user, Jeffrey Hall, super cool Twitter user. He just reports on stuff happening in Japan in English, so I can read it and understand it. But yeah, that's it. It's fucking cringe as shit. I hope it stops. I hope Kick gets a little more moderation going on, right? You know, maybe punish people if they're being that obscene. I cannot IRL stream. I hate IRL streaming. I have something in my brain that is like, hey, you're being fucking annoying as shit to those around you. How about you be a little more respectful? So I don't do it. But some people got that Logan Paul brain. They do whatever the hell they need. They film whatever the hell they want. And it's a huge disaster when you're doing it while live streaming because so much more can happen and you're capturing all of it. And I think it's a bit of a dangerous trend to be going down. It harkens back to the Ice Poseidon RV era, and in a little more moderation might save that category from becoming basically who can be the worst human competition. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. Have a good one.
I mean, what can I say? He finally got what he deserved. But what a great video. Please go check out this video on your own time as well. But aside from that, there has been actually some updates on the person who was recording Johnny Somali doing these things. He was also taken into custody. And actually, he was released as of late, but re-arrested again because of what he did in I think it was a restaurant. He was playing some kind of music. So here I have an article where it says Johnny Somali re-arrested over restaurant mayhem. And it says here that he was at a beef bowl restaurant, a gyudon restaurant. You should go check one out if you ever come to Japan. It's very delicious. But he was causing some disturbance here, playing some loud music. And it was in Osaka as well. So Osaka, you know, they were not having any of his shenanigans, which is very interesting because Osaka is in the part of Japan where they're more not as reserved as like in Tokyo. So if you've ever been to Japan, people that live in Kansai area, like in Tokyo, Chiba, that kind of stuff, people here are more kind of tolerant, more silent. They don't really kind of go out of their way to do stuff. But once you start moving more towards like Osaka and what's the other right? Fukuoka, people over there are more willing to kind of do stuff like talk to you or kind of get involved in stuff. So I think it's kind of interesting that everything that happened to him, like the arrest and all that kind of stuff, happened while he was in Osaka. But that's just a kind of little fun fact to throw in there. But still, I'm very surprised that they let him out so quickly. I know that he was reaching his detainment time, and I'm really glad they were able to rearrest him because of this. But there's actually another point that I want to talk about. And I've actually done a video about this on my other channel, which is more for a Japanese audience. And in the comment section, a lot of people, of course, were focused on this kind of particular situation. But I also got a lot of comments from people saying that they were so surprised that the Japanese police couldn't speak English. And when I was reading these comments, I was thinking to myself, that's not really the point here, you know? And that just goes to show you just how tolerant Japanese people are of this. They, instead of them, you know, taking out their pitchforks like all of us have been doing, they had just been kind of sitting back and just thinking, oh, he's doing bad stuff. And then thinking, oh, the Japanese police, they don't speak any English. Like, I'm surprised by this. And, you know, when you come to a country, you're a guest. So I don't think the Japanese police need to learn another language to communicate with tourists or foreigners that come to their country. You know, if you get arrested, that's on you. You committed the crime. So you have to deal with any kind of disturbance that you come across. But as of right now, this is the only news we have left of Johnny Somali. I have no idea what's gonna happen to him from here on out. Hopefully honestly, I think they should just deport him back to America. I think that's where he's from. But we don't know what the future holds for Johnny Somali. We have no idea if they're gonna keep him here or send him back to America. Nobody knows as of right now. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Bye.